GRYSKLL.
I want to ask Jeff a question before you say you're about to get out of here.
Oh,
all right.
Yeah. All right. What's up?
I've scrolled through your page a few times and seen some of the people, you know, spit and all that. With what you're doing, is there any conflict with drug abuse and abuse and things of that nature, like people on medication? It seems like people are really coming back to who they were as before they went through like a traumatic thing or something like that.
You're saying, is there any conflict with people using drugs? I don't get it.
Is there any conflict with the drug abuse and then being on the other side of being medicated, possibly with people that are in your class specifically?
No, look, not in my. I haven't had that issue in my class, but I worked for 15 years in Compton and Long Beach, and I did find a direct correlation between the way the system tried to put these kids on meds just because they couldn't focus in class, and then how they tried to probably balance the meds with other substances, and then it basically, you know, put them on a track for addiction very early on. So I would say that in my, you know, when I had the 95 type work, I definitely saw some of that and was very disappointed in that. And I would tell people and parents, like, yo, don't think that just because this kid's not doing good in math that he needs to be on some medication. So I, you know, and again, you know, it's this country's run by drug pushers, and I'm not talking about the illegal drugs.
Yep.
So I was a little stuck because I knew that that's how our company got funded. But I would on the low be like, how do you, anyway. So as far as I think that, hopefully that's answering the question. With, you know, what I do with my rhymecology workshops and, you know, Pendulum Ink, that's not really has been too much of an issue. But if I'm understanding the question, I definitely went across that when I was working in the mental health system.
Okay.
Word.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Thanks for stopping in, man. Appreciate it.
Okay. Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Cool. Hopefully we can all connect in all aspects. However, I just saw Dragon's Torch on the IG, so we'll, you know, all that stuff. I hope we can all stay in touch because I love the energy you guys have. Great questions, great thoughtful, you know, consideration of our answers. Everything. You guys are dope. So.
Thank you.
Have me and all of us on.
We'll definitely be engaging, brother.
It's just the tip of the iceberg right here. Pause.
Yeah.
All right, peace.
Thanks a lot. Peace. Take care of yourself, brother. Thank you. Thank you so much.
It's with the pause, huh?
Peace.
Hey.
It's with the pause.
Man, so I got a question for Chilla though, man. That battle rap circuit, man. I'm not really familiar with it, but it looks brutal, man. Tell me what it takes to survive in that world and what it takes to even want to go into that world. What is it that drives you and what got you into that arena?
To be honest, man, it was never something I really wanted and never something I really pursued. I always have been a musician first. I've always been somebody who preferred to make music, write verses, rap over beats. And there was a time about 11 or 12 years ago where I ran a MC battle circuit in Boston, you know, for MCs to pull up and kind of sharpen their swords. I had a cameraman that was recording it. I rented a venue out every couple of months and just would invite people down to rap against each other in order to get themselves some footage so that they could see how they were doing. They could figure out ways to improve so that if they were serious about battle rap, they could eventually, you know, go to more serious leagues once they had developed their skill set and, you know, pursue that career path if that was something that they wanted to do. In one of my events, I had one of the battlers that I had brought back and that had frequented my league called me out for a battle.
Okay.
Which was super surprising. And you know, I turned them down a couple of times, and I was like, yo, man, like, not sure your motivation, but I'm not really interested, you know, but I still would love to, you know, continue to mentor you and give you guidance and et cetera, et cetera. And I guess it was just one of those moments where like Daniel's son wanted to fight Miyagi and see where he was at with it, or, you know, whatever the case. So eventually I obliged. And it was that one battle that I spoke of earlier. It was that battle that, you know, Mickey Factz saw and co-signed and brought to URL, and URL was like, bring him to New York. It was never my intention to like, to pursue that career path. You know what I'm saying?
University.
When I first got that offer to go to URL, I turned it down. And I was like, I want to stay with the music, man. This is not a career path I'm looking to get into or pursue. And as I talked to Mickey Factz more, as I talked to some of the major artists from my city at that time, which was like Slang, Terminology, Static Selecta, a lot of these people, and they were like, yo, you have to do it. There's nobody from Boston in that lane. You have to do it. If not for anything else, as a means of promoting your music.
Yeah.
Right. Take some of these battles, put yourself into a new demographic, and then shove your mixtape in their face. You know what I'm saying? Like, use this to your advantage, because there's no competition for you locally. You're not competing, you know, to be, you know, the best Boston guy on URL. There's no other Boston guy on URL. To this day, there's no other Boston guy on URL. I'm still the only Boston MC outside of Salute to 40 Bars on the female side of things. We are the only Boston MCs to have stepped foot and made an impact in the NBA of battle rap. You know what I'm saying? And so that's how I got into it. It does take a lot to be here, to deal with it. There's tons of negativity. There's tons of toxicity. There's tons of politics. And obviously, I'm not even describing what it's like to be in a battle. I'm just talking about outside of the battle.
Business piece, right?
You know what I'm saying? Being in the battles, obviously, you have to have tough skin. You have to have patience. You have to have the ability to control yourself and have poise, which I, you know, thankfully I have. But yeah, man, it's definitely a lot to deal with. And what I think what keeps me in it and what keeps me there is like, I enjoy the writing aspect of it so much. And as somebody who has always been ultra competitive, there's a certain sense of validation that I get to be able to stand across from another MC and prove my dominance and prove, you know, my mastery of techniques, my superiority. And with a lot of these battles not being officially judged, it really just comes down to personal preferences. There's, you know, 6 or 7 people on this Zoom right now. We can all put on a battle, and 4 of us can think battler A won, and 3 of us can think battler B won, and nobody's wrong. You know what I mean? It's gonna be based on what we gravitate to, whose lines we connected with more. Maybe somebody connected with us on a more emotional, you know, way in the battle. Maybe we enjoyed somebody's wordplay more than the other person. Maybe one MC had lines that I heard before, but you had never heard those lines, so they were super impressive to you. But to me, it was like, kind of unoriginal. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just totally depends on everybody's, you know, knowledge base, experience level. It's you know, winning and losing in this day and age in battle rap is totally subjective. So, you know, for me, I just love the writing portion. I love being able to show what I can do. I love being able to show the mastery of it. And now, as it comes full circle within Pendulum Ink, I am able to take these techniques that I have just taught my class and put them into action, right? Like, I'm not just a teacher that's going to sit here and tell you, hey, use this technique, and this technique will do this, this, and that for you. And then you have to go about your business in your life and try to make that happen in real time. No, I'm going to tell you what glitching is, and I'm going to tell you how to identify it. I'm going to tell you how to execute it. And then when you watch my next battle that comes out on the URL app, you're going to see me do it. You're going to see how the crowd receives it. You're going to see the effect that it has in this battle. I'm not just teaching you stuff because they have cool names and it's cool to teach. I'm showing you in real time, in real life, the value and the power that these techniques have when executed well. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So now Pendulum Ink has just added a whole new level of depth for me of being able to enjoy battle rap, because now I can show my students and I can show my cohort, yo, this is what I taught you. This is what it looks like in real time. This is what it looks like in a real life situation, right? It's like when you're in school and they teach you math or how to balance a checkbook. You don't get to see your teacher that day in Chase Bank actually balancing their checkbook with all of the methods and processes that they taught you, right? You don't get to see that. Right. They make sure you understand it, and then eventually, as an adult on your own, you do it yourself. You might fuck it up. You might not fuck it up. You might teach yourself after the fuck ups. Eventually, you get it right, and you move on as an adult. But we are actually showing the students in real life what these techniques do. Cam is not just teaching you how to create content. He just had a video go viral last month with all of the tips and tricks he gave to his students. He made it happen in real life. You can't plan that. Right. You know what I'm saying? So Pendulum Ink has just added like a whole new energy for me in terms of my ability to enjoy this culture, which at times can be toxic, full of politics, full of negativity. It's just added another positive layer to it. And because of that, I may stay in battle rap longer than I planned because I see its value for our students.
Let me ask you this. As far as the techniques go, do you find that some that work well on the battle scene may not work as well for songs, for like, I guess, listening pleasure, for lack of a better term?
Yeah, absolutely. There's definitely certain techniques that I would say you'll find more success in using in a battle rap round as opposed to an actual song. You know what I'm saying? And vice versa. There are certain techniques that on a song are great, but may not be as effective in the battle rap world, because obviously in battle raps, you have a target, right? Your opponent is your target. Your goal is to break them down however you see fit, but breaking them down is the main goal. Whereas on a song, depending on what your song is about, you have different agendas. Right. If I write a song about heartbreak, then I'm expressing myself, and I also want to create something relatable that you can feel. How did you feel when you got your heart broke? I want to speak to that, right? If I'm writing a song about partying and smoking and having drinks and being in the club, then I want you to relate to that. It's gonna be a different type of thing. And so certain styles and certain techniques are great to be able to make you relate to what I'm doing and to be able to, give you that perspective that I'm trying to give you. In a battle rap, I am way more concerned with breaking down my opponent, what he's wearing, what he's known for, where he's from. He becomes the topic of essentially 3 diss verses, right? he or she is always the topic of that. And so there are certain techniques that are perfect under those circumstances, and there are also other techniques that are perfect for the circumstances of creating relatable, enjoyable content over beats.
They all are transferable though. You just have to use them very differently. Like you can glitch in a song. We just heard Mickey checking boxes, right? So you can glitch. You're probably just not gonna do it like as much as a 10 and 2. You know, like you're not going like it's just you got to find a way. There are ways to work certain techniques in.
Word. Was it a challenge for any of you guys transitioning from MCing to teaching? Was it daunting at all or any of that?
I was already teaching. I teach private lessons, and on trumpet. I already had one. Like I said, I was teaching a master class. I was still kind of new to it, but I was also teaching the private lessons. I have a student. As a matter of fact, Friday I have to have a lesson with her Fridays. She's like 10 years old, learning how to rap. And I was teaching her last year how to rap. So I have some experience in that field already.
Okay. For me, it wasn't so daunting. I've always been somebody that has, like the story I told earlier, I've always been somebody who's kind of mentored and kind of taken, lesser experienced MCs under the wing as much as I can to be able to give them advice or guidance or tips or tricks. But in preparation for Pendulum, I also made sure to attend one of Cam's classes to observe his teaching and to observe what he does. I made it a point to attend one of Jeff's classes to see what he does and to see, how he operates. And even now, I still attend Cam's classes at Pendulum. I still attend Jeff's classes at Pendulum, just to continue to learn and just to continue to see how they're interacting, with their students, because they have way more experience than me in that regard when it comes to being able to teach a class or run a classroom. So it's still a learning process for me. And a part of that is why in a lot of our advanced technique classes, I mostly will defer to Mickey. Mickey usually does a lot of the heavy lifting, and I'll chime in here and there with gems and little things that I feel like are important. But a lot of this for me is still a lot of learning. I'm still learning a lot in terms of, how to be a better instructor to the students. But that's what I feel like the beauty is in me being able to go in these battle stages and show everything that Mickey and I are teaching. You know what I'm saying? I can show you better than I can tell you. And I actually have the opportunity to be able to do that every time I go into one of these battles. So, for the experience that I may lack as a rap professor or rap teacher prior to Pendulum, I feel like I make that up by being able to show them everything that they're being taught, being used in real life, and hopefully inspiring them and showing them the value that it can have for them as well.
Solid, man. Appreciate that. I know Mickey's got to pull out. Mickey, you want to say anything before you jump out?
Long live lyricism.
Okay.
Long live.
Appreciate you, bro. Thank you.
Hey,
Yes, sir. Thank you.
man.
Wow.
So Cam, do you teach anything other than trumpet, or is that primarily what you teach as far as music lessons?
As far as music lessons, I teach trumpet lessons. These have become music lessons, really. Like the stylistic side of it is like when you're teaching flow, you're teaching cadence, and you're teaching those type of things like pocket. These are things that live in the jazz world. Swinging, that is something that carried over from jazz straight to hip hop, or from really, if you want to be real, jazz to funk to the R&B to hip hop, if you want to be real, it's all of that stuff. This is we created jazz, like our people created jazz, and a lot of that stuff is directly into hip hop. Matter of fact, a lot of tracks are sampled from jazz tracks, so Yeah, I mean, I feel like I was like, I didn't go to school to teach, but I ended up, becoming a teacher. It's wild to think about it now. Now that I'm really just thinking about it, I ended up becoming a teacher, and like I'm like teaching all the stuff that I was doing in my big bands and jazz ensembles and class, and I'm classically trained as well. So I'm teaching all of that. I've been writing, longer than I did all of that stuff, of course. And the students, we haven't really talked much about the students, but we have some students that came in. They literally could not. They didn't have rhythm. Like they couldn't rhyme. They couldn't say words on the beat.
Wow.
And now you listen to them, and they're putting together like dope 16s with punchlines, with metaphors and stuff.
Yo, the
And
young lady that rhymed on that Fonte joint. The young lady that went first on that Fonte joint.
Yeah.
Getting
she was
tough.
She went in, yeah. Word.
Yeah.
Once she kind of found her pocket, good God, Allah, boy, yeah, she was tough.
Yeah,
I didn't mean
she
to cut
is,
you off, man, but just hearing you talk about that.
No.
Maybe
Please.
you gotta type that, yo.
She is becoming a problem. she was already good, and to speak to her, she just started rapping.
She said like a year ago or something, right? Something crazy like that.
I don't even think it's been a year. I don't think she's been rapping for a full year. She's wrote some stuff, but she never rapped it. So like her breath control wasn't there, and her just saying it all, like she has a natural like delivery about it. I don't even know where she's from, but she has like this natural delivery about her that is great. And she's been around the battle rap scene for a long time. Like she follows Chilla very like she knows all the Chilla stuff. Like so like yeah, and she's around the culture. She knows what it sounds like, which is a big part of listening. But she just started rapping, and she's just getting into learning some of these techniques. And when I'm telling you, like light bulbs go off in these classrooms, which is that's the best part to me. When I see a light bulb go off, and it's like, yo, that's the unlock I needed right there. She man, yeah, watch out for her. she gonna be a problem.
What's her name? Do you have a name off top?
Her name is Ma.
Ma?
Ma. Yeah.
Okay, Ma. Dope, man. Shout out to Ma.
Yes, shout out to Ma.
I don't mean to kind of hog, but you got any stuff coming up like locally in the near future, Cam? I'd love to come support, man.
So I have a project coming out, my first solo project, because I'm from North Carolina, of course, like I said. So and Fonte was a really big influence on me, because I wasn't familiar with Fonte like the same way everybody else was. I think everybody else listened to Little Brother and found out about Fonte. I found out about Fonte through the Foreign Exchange.
Okay.
So I started a band. So I've always rocked with a band. Like I've always rocked with a band behind me. And now I'm putting out my first solo album this year, and that's gonna be interesting. That's good. Yeah, because I really get to, I got to let loose lyrically. Oh, that's alliteration right there. I got to let loose though, for real on this album. And it's a crazy one. I'll say that.
You just led into another question I was going to ask y'all too. Is with y'all doing classes and Chilla, with you doing the battle circuit, do y'all still have much time to make your own music? And how do you feel about the amount of time you have to sacrifice for making your own music?
For me, I still have time. So I mean, generally Tuesday nights are my studio nights. So I'm able to get in the studio and knock records out and get things done. We actually just finished doing a Celtics finals record. You know what I'm saying? So that's out now.
That's team.
That's circulating. That's making its rounds on the internet right now. But yeah, man, it's definitely a lot to balance, right? Because especially for me, battle rapping and songwriting is two different mindsets, right? if I'm writing songs in a battle rap mindset, it sounds like a diss track. If I'm writing battle rounds in a songwriting or album mindset, it's you know, the wires get crossed. You know what I'm saying? And so I have to be in very specific mindsets to be able to write songs or battles. I will tell you that it literally has taken me years to figure out how to switch mindsets, or at least creatively how to get from one space to another without having to stop doing one entirely for a really long time. So I used to, you know, if I'm doing battles, I might be able to do a feature here and there, but as far as working on a body of work, I could never. If I was going to, I would take a 6 month to a year break from battles, because I felt like I would need to shift. My creative process would need to change. How I write for a battle and how I write a verse or a song or a hook, it's totally different. And the minute I go from writing battles to writing songs, it would take me a lot of time to finally get to a point where I'm like, all right, this doesn't sound like an aggressive, charged up battle verse. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, in battle rap, you got to be witty. You got to use entendres. You got to use different techniques. In songs, again, I'm focusing on relatability. And so sometimes in my songs, I'm writing and I'm like, man, I want to do a glitch right here. But do I have to? You know what I'm saying? Like, do I need to do that to get my point across for this very song? You know what I'm saying? And so that was a lot of the things that I battled early on in my career, trying to juggle both, right? Then you add Pendulum Ink and it's like, okay, now I'm doing battles, now I'm doing songs, now I'm teaching both, right? Because I'm teaching my battle rap class, but I'm also teaching in the advanced techniques class, which is mostly for songs and music. And it's just like all together, you know what I'm saying? But luckily, I feel like after 11 years, I'm finally have done this for long enough, and I'm finally in a space where I can shift back and forth and not feel like my songs sound like battles and my battles sound like songs. You know what I'm saying? But for a long time, it was tough for me to juggle.
That's a big deal, man, because, you know, we've always heard about how battle rappers have a challenge transitioning to making songs. And I'm not calling you a battle rapper. I know you're an MC, period. Yeah. But it's interesting to hear the backstory. I've never heard somebody kind of articulate that you have to take some time off and to switch tracks and all that. So I appreciate you taking the time to break that down, man.
Yeah.
And interestingly enough, I took a master class with Wynton Marsalis in college, of course. Wynton and Branford. I took private lessons with Branford too. Really? But Wynton Marsalis said that if he does a classical gig, he has to take 6 months off of playing classical music before he can go and play a jazz gig. Wow. He literally said that. Yeah. And that was an eye opener for me. So to hear Chilla say that, it's like that just reinforces what I was saying about jazz and hip hop being so relatable. Like, really, that's probably the greatest trumpet player of all time.
How was it working with them in particular, like a private lesson?
I never worked.
Go ahead, my bad.
No, I didn't work with Wynton in a private lessons. I did work with Branford a few times. Branford is a very funny guy. And then he makes sure to call you by your first name, like even just walking down the halls of North Carolina Central, you know, Branford would always, you know, what's good, Cam? How you doing, man? You doing all right? Like, just talk to you. So it wasn't as intimidating as I thought it would be. Okay. You know, they're really, really cool. Even Wynton, when I first met him, really, really cool. I got a video from that session too, because you don't really get to see them two play together very much. I got a video from that masterclass session back in, it was like 2009, something like that. Or something like, I still got the video from that. They played if you ever heard the song "Sweet Georgia Brown," that's the Harlem Globetrotters theme song.
Yeah.
They played that at that master class, and it was just, yeah, man. Working with them was surreal. It's surreal because they're goats, like literal goats, like walking around.
One of them didn't like hip hop back in the 80s or 90s, right? One of them was adamantly against hip hop at first, weren't they?
I mean, in the 80s and 90s, there's a lot of people. Probably so. I can see that coming from.
Yeah.
I don't know which one it was.
I think it was Winton. Yes.
I thought it was Winton too. I didn't want to misname him.
Yeah. I couldn't see Branford. Yeah, that's probably Winton.
Yeah, and it's funny because I think DJ Premier got one of their houses, or one of them let DJ Premier use one of their houses at one point in time too. So it was really contradictory, seeing that one brother was like, nah, to hip hop, and the other one was like supporting one of our icons.
That sounds like Winton more so than Branford, because Branford is a lot more like, well, he likes a lot of stuff. So yeah, that sounds like Winton.
That's beautiful, man. Y'all live some charmed lives, man. I'm happy for y'all both, man. I'm really appreciative that y'all came out and spent some time with us. This meant a whole lot to us, and I know it's gonna mean a whole lot to the people that check us out, man. So I don't know how to thank y'all, to tell the truth. I can't thank y'all enough, and I look forward to catching up with y'all more and more in the future, man.
Yeah, just thank you for inviting us out, man. If I'm gonna say anything last, I'm gonna talk about Pendulum Ink Summer School is starting June 5th. We got a whole 3-month course where we're teaching rap theory, some creative writing with Rob. For the next, we got a guest coming. I can't even speak on that because Lord, my God.
It's me, y'all. I'm gonna be there.
Yeah,
we can let this is squad. We can let them know.
And we're teaching I'm teaching some advanced flow stuff, like some advanced flow stuff in these classes. Like if you want to try.
When does that start? I mean,
June 5th. June 5th.
A couple days.
This Sunday.
This Sunday.
Yeah.
Wow. Y'all got slots open still?
Yes, we do.
Yeah. Yes, we do.
Okay. And what's somebody got to do to sign up?
The link is in all of our bios. It's definitely in me and Rob bio. You can go to any of our pages and see the link, and literally you just sign up. You can do 1 month, you can do one class, you can do the whole 3 months, and sign up. And that's gonna be a crazy program. I think we got some people already signed up. That's gonna be a really good one.
Yeah.
That's cool. Okay, we're looking forward to that then, man. Pass the word for sure, man. We definitely gonna wave the Pendulum Ink flag for y'all, man, because we're very proud of what y'all doing. Very happy to see what y'all doing, and hip hop needs y'all badly. So thank you for more reasons than one.
Oh yeah,
appreciate y'all, man. Thanks for having us. Absolutely.
Thank you.
I'm gonna keep my hands at 10 and 2. I promise.
Man, appreciate you, man.
No doubt, fam.
Definitely.
Word.
Anybody else got anything else they want to hit? Everybody good?
Nah, man. If you I'm sure if you got any stuff coming up, you'll put it on your IG, man. But if you're doing anything between, here in Raleigh, man, I'll definitely try to come support as long as I don't got something going on, man. Let a
most definitely
shake hands, man. So
if I have a show, I will definitely put it up. I don't have any shows coming up right now. COVID kind of it's opening up. A lot of stuff opening up now, so we ain't got to worry about it as much now. We just haven't. I've been so busy with Pendulum, I ain't set up no shows yet. So I've been working on this album. But it's coming. Believe it's definitely coming.
Just so you know, it's possible that either one or two of my kids might be signing up for some Pendulum stuff. So,
that'll be dope. That'd be dope. Shout out to the X-Men shirt too, man. I ain't said I've been eyeing the X-Men shirt for all that's I'm Comikbook Cam. So just know, Rashad, you come out to a show, bro. I'm not like these other rappers. It could be a cosplay party. Like you might walk in there and everybody is dressed up like cartoon characters.
Oh, I'd definitely be there for that.
I gotta be like I'm too rigid, so I need that. Like I need that kind of. Yeah,
I got a trunk full of comic books upstairs. I just found the key to and unlocked last week and took a little video of it. So I'm with you, Cam.
Man.
I resonate with you, fam. I resonate heavily with you.
Yes.
So we'll definitely be chopping, man.
Most definitely. Thank y'all. Thank y'all so much,
man.
And go Celtics. Just for y'all that didn't understand, but we was coming.
I heard Chilla say Warriors in 6 yesterday. Let me get out of here.
A lot of the people. A lot of the people. Man. Celtics 7.
Hey, chillin'. If they pull it out, man, I'm gonna just come find you. We're gonna celebrate wherever you might be.
Pull
man.
up. The parade gonna be wild if we get this one. Parade out here gonna be wild. Just take a flight. Just call me when we get to the airport, man. Call me when we get to the airport.
I think we got a chance though, man. I think we got a chance.
They say
man.
you got an 86% chance of winning.
86?
That's what I saw that on was it Bleacher Report today? Somewhere it was something like that.
Yeah, I don't like that.
They are wilding, but but I do think we got a chance. I don't think we're the favorite at all, but I think we matched up really well.
Yeah, I think we got a couple of favorable matchups there.
Yeah,
and I think I'm not gonna say Smart is just going to completely shut Steph down, but I think he would be able to keep him in check enough to where he doesn't become that energy that becomes the deciding factor. So
right,
we'll see. Let's see. But I'm pulling the old starter jacket out. I'm going crazy to do it. It's gonna be wild.
Now's the time. Now's the best time, man. If you're gonna do it anytime, you gotta be in the finals. You gotta do it now.
Yeah.
Oh, one more question for you, Cam. Marvel or DC then?
Marvel. All day.
Is that a question, bro?
I don't even know.
What kind of question is that?
Yo, Tobias is a DC dude, so I had to ask. Sometimes they slip through the cracks every once.
But he also thinks that, you know what? I'm gonna leave it alone.
Yeah. I want to hear this.
I like
you know what he thinks.
But Marvel and anime for me, to be totally honest. I watch anime literally. I'll take a full day to watch anime. So
and Tobias in the anime too, yo.
Yeah, Q's in the anime heavy too, man. So
anime, anime is life.
Oh yeah.
I don't have any frame of reference for any of that stuff. Yo.
That's a damn shame. That means you haven't lived.
She skipped childhood and went straight to adulthood.
Hold up. I just introduced him to Princess Bride last week, yo.
And I watched it. And I enjoyed it.
How do you not know Princess Bride, yo?
Just go watch One Piece, man. It's entertaining. Everything about One Piece is entertaining.
Yeah, we used the Avatar, the anime Avatar.
That's a good one.
But I haven't seen it. We used a snippet of that on a song, and like he was like, "Yeah, this came from Avatar." I was like, "I never saw that movie." The joint.
Y'all used the same snippet,
man, not so. Yeah, I don't have no frame of reference, dog.
Damn shame, yo.
What'd you say? I skipped childhood, shot.
Yeah, you skipped childhood. Came out with a suit, shirt and tie on, man.
My childhood was like 15 years before all of y'all, so that might really be what it was.
Man, you only a couple years ahead of me, bro.
Exactly.
You see this? But yeah, man. I ain't gonna hold y'all too much longer, man. We about to drop in on 11 o'clock, man.
Yeah, appreciate y'all, man. Thank y'all again for joining, man.
Much appreciated.
All right, fellas.
Appreciate y'all.
Appreciate it.
Definitely appreciate y'all. Thank you.
All right, peace.
Peace.